couch burning has become a tradition right here in Morgantown. I'm Justin Moore, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you what Morgantown officials are doing to change that.
Did you know that texting and driving is now illegal here in Morgantown? I'm Allie Brandfast, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you how distracted driving laws are making these streets safer.
For the first time in 3 years, Monongalia County will see an increase in their property taxes. I'm Nicole Ford, and straight ahead, I'll tell you where the money will be going. Our award-winning WVU News starts now.
West Virginia University has been burning couches since the 1970s. See what Morgantown is doing to change the tradition. I'm Natalie Price.
And I'm Allie Brandfast. Did you know back in 2011, 23% of car accidents involved a cell phone? We see how the police are cracking down on texting and driving. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University. Over 500,000 injuries each year are caused by texting and driving.
And here's another shocking statistic. 77% of young adults believe that they can text and drive safely.
But West Virginia is cracking down on the law, and if you're caught texting and driving, your license could get suspended. I found out how the laws are making it safer to drive around town. Roadway fatalities are at an all-time low here in West Virginia. Last year, traffic accident deaths went down by 18%. Officials say that stricter texting and driving laws are a main reason for the drop. WVU student Michael Lynch says he made the mistake of looking at his phone while sitting behind the wheel.
So I pick up my phone, and the next thing I know, I rear in the back of this painter worker truck. I look out the window and I see two of these guys just hop out of the car and come yelling at me, and I'm like, oh my God, is this really happening?
Last year, police gave out over 5,000 citations for using handheld devices while operating a vehicle. Morgantown's Police Chief Ed Preston says texting is not the only problem.
It's absolutely important when somebody's operating a motor vehicle that they drive the car, not to worry about what's on the playlist, not checking email, surfing the internet, or anything like that. That's the most important part, is when you're driving the car, be responsible and drive the car.
In 2012, West Virginia became the 36th state in the nation to ban texting while driving. More recently, it became a primary offense, making it similar to our seatbelt laws. You can get pulled over without another reason. Drivers may still use Bluetooth and hands-free devices, but anything requiring you to take your eyes off the road is prohibited. Lynch says he has learned his lesson.
I really regret it. Ever since then, I really have never touched my phone while I drive. It's always the passenger's job to do that for me now.
Drivers caught violating these laws may face charges up to $300. More changes are on the horizon. Residents are now seeing where their tax money is going.
That's right, Allie. Nicole Ford joins us live in the studio to tell us more. Nicole?
Thanks, Natalie and Allie. With the city expecting to pay out around $5.1 million in expenses during the next few months, they need to make more money. City officials have said that without an increased levy rate, Morgantown would have no chance to make ends meet. I found out why for just a few cents a week, Morgantown can afford all the new projects in the works.
I call the meeting to order.
It has been 3 years since the Monongalia County Commissioners pledged to their residents to not raise the property taxes, but the pledge is up and the time has come for the county to find additional funding.
This year, we're at a situation where we had to come up with some costs of living. We had to pay for some additional improvements and then just be competitive with other areas in the country.
Residents' levy rate will increase from 9.5 cents to 12 cents. This small increase per property owner will provide the county with $3.8 million in extra revenue. But what most residents want to know is, will the money fix the current issues at hand?
If we can get the recycling debacle taken care of, if we can get the potholes fixed, then I as a resident will be happy.
Unfortunately, the county does not have jurisdiction over the roadways, but they do plan to solve the recycling problem, improve the parks, and even upgrade the 911 equipment to allow for texting and instant messaging. Now, you may be wondering how this increase works. For every $100 of appraised value, you pay 2.5 cents more. So for a $100,000 home, you pay $30 more per year. But this extra money is not so easily attained for some residents.
It is difficult, and it doesn't matter if it's $30 or if it's $10 or $300. It's tough to come up with.
Residents will see the effects of this increase starting in July of this year, and Monongalia County will maintain the 4th lowest levy rate in the state. Monongalia County residents still pay one of the lowest tax rates in the state, ranking 51st out of 55 West Virginia counties. Natalie Alley, back to you.
Thanks, Nicole. Taxes aren't the only changes happening to local residents. There have been over 2,000 reported fires in Morgantown in the last 15 years, and that's a number the city hopes to drop significantly.
In 2011, 40 students were expelled from WVU for couch burning incidents, but that hasn't stopped students from using this as a celebration tactic. Reporter Justin Moore finds out about a new ordinance that could change a Morgantown tradition.
Morgantown City Council is passing a new ordinance. This ordinance creates a segment within the city's building and housing code. Under this section, the burning of couches is severely restricted. City Council member Nancy Gans knows what else needs to be done to fix this problem.
We need to work with the university to use their resources to make it safer for the students and the population that lives here.
According to officials, there were reported 39 fires after West Virginia's upset win against Baylor, many of them occurring right here on Grant Avenue. Over the last decade, nearly 3,000 street fires have been set, and officials are hoping to begin new traditions, ones that will prove not to be deadly.
People rioted literally right where we're standing. There were cops coming up and down the street in riot gear, people throwing bottles.
In 2011, things got so out of hand that 40 WVU students were suspended or expelled for burning couches.
We have the second most fires in our country, and our town is a lot smaller than a lot of towns in our country.
Under this new ordinance, burning couches is a felony that includes a mandatory fine of $1,000. Justin Moore, WVU News, Morgantown.
According to CNN, drinking soda can wreak havoc on your health. Soda can cause severe health complications such as diabetes, which affects 29 million people in the United States. Sugar-sweetened beverages are the single largest source of added sugars in our diet. Adding 1 soda per day to a person's diet will increase their chance of heart disease by 19%. That can also raise the chance of type 2 diabetes by 25%. Soda has even been linked to tooth decay, which is the root cause for cavities. Doctors say that switching to green tea is a much healthier option.
Experts say 90% of online adults between 18 and 29 use social media, and now businesses are trying to cash in on those numbers.
Shannon Butler joins us now from Social Square with the latest in pop culture and social media. Shannon?
Thanks, Natalie and Allie. The average American spends 37 minutes per day on social media, and now businesses are trying to market their brand and attract new customers. Recent research shows that over 90% of small businesses find that social media helps increase brand awareness. Park and Madison store associate Elizabeth Sabatino mentions how social media has helped this local boutique.
We can reach people all over the country. We even ship to people in Hawaii, and they found us through Instagram and through Facebook. So if we didn't have those media outlets, I don't think that our business would do as well.
Park and Madison isn't the only company benefiting from social networking. Research shows that over 50% of small businesses say they have gained new customers from social media. According to Forbes magazine, a consumer must see a product 6 to 8 times before they decide to buy it. And with social media being such a big influence on businesses, people are getting to that number much quicker. Advertising on social media doesn't just benefit the business. Customers can see certain discounts, prizes, and promotions just by following the social media account. Soul Brothers restaurant owner Mark Hammer talks about how he uses Twitter to bring in customers.
We've done a lot of giveaways through Twitter. So what we've actually done is we've had it where you retweet one of our tweets. We usually attach a picture or something to that. And then with that, we offer a giveaway.
With over 80% of small businesses using a social media site, it is no wonder why this is the new marketing craze. 46% of people look towards social media when making a purchase. This makes it necessary for all businesses to have a presence online. Allie, Natalie, back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. The WVU women's basketball team has been on fire, winning 5 straight postseason games.
Sports reporter Emily Giangreco looks at the Mountaineers' road to the National Invitational Tournament Championship game.
I'm Emily Giangreco, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how the women's basketball team is making some noise in the postseason.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a mountaineer.
Prior to this season, the women's basketball team made it to the WNIT finals once in their history. They made their return this weekend.
Lewis, how did the Mountaineers react to making it all the way to the title game?
Well, Natalie, the Mountaineers weren't happy with the results of the game, but the journey was an experience in itself. After getting a 2 seed in last year's NCAA tournament, many saw having to play in the WNIT as a demotion for the Mountaineers. Sports reporter Emily Giangreco found out how they felt much differently.
After winning 5 straight home games, the WVU women's basketball team advanced to the championship of the Women's National Invitation Tournament. With 3 incredible senior players on the team this year, junior guard Bria Holmes says she doesn't want their season to end without a victory.
The seniors, we don't want them to go out empty-handed. We want to end on a win, so I just feel like that's what we need to do, and I think that we'll do it.
The Mountaineers have played all 5 tournament games at the WVU Coliseum, and head coach Mike Carey gives credit to the fans for their team's continued success.
You know, at this time of the year, and even, you know, they're getting tired of me trying to pick them up, so it's good somebody else is picking them up a little bit, and the crowd has been just done a fantastic job of that.
This is the second time in program history and the first time in 10 years that the women's basketball team has made it to the semifinals in the WNIT.
WVU defeated Temple in overtime during the semifinals last Wednesday, 66-58. Now the Mountaineers are on to Charleston, West Virginia for the championship game. Senior Avery Fields expresses her appreciation for her teammates stepping it up during these final games.
I think it just shows, you know, the heart of this team, and, you know, we have had our ups and downs this season, but to have us pull together and just work hard towards the end has been great.
Unfortunately, the Mountaineers fell to UCLA in the championship 66-60. Emily Giangreco, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
Now, despite not having the desired outcome to their season, the playoff run is still considered a success for the Mountaineer women. Allie and Natalie, back to you.
Thanks, Lewis. Habitat for Humanity has been helping the people of Monongalia County since 1990.
In that time, they've built 42 local homes in the area, including one that's being built right now. Habitat for Humanity was founded back in 1976, and there's been one right here in Morgantown for 25 years. Monongalia County Habitat for Humanity has built homes for 180 people in need during that time. They're in charge of over 13,000 volunteer hours per year. They're currently working on a home for Danielle Walker, a local single mother.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us on our website.
You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Natalie Price.
And I'm Allie Brandfast. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.